Is it possible to take these thrifted granny capris, this dingy little tank top with rips in it, and this eyelet sort of tunic that is way too small for me in this area, and turn it into a dreamy summer outfit? That's what I hope to do today. Thank you for joining me. Let's just get right to it. I'm going to start with this piece and turn it into sort of a sleeveless duster. I've already cut the lining out of it. Now I need to cut up the center. Now to find the center, all I'm going to do, this is the front, I'm going to lay it on its side and line up the side seams nicely and press a crease right here. Now here's my crease. I'm just going to cut it all the way open. Now I have it all cut open, and I want to add a little length to the bottom. And I'm going to use this. I think I cut it off the bottom of a dress at some point. Now I have my top all laid out on my table, and I'm looking at the wrong side. Now I want to keep this pretty scalloped bottom, so I'm going to sew this new piece of fabric to this seam right there. And I made a little mark with my tailor's chalk 4 inches in from the edge, and I did the same on the opposite side. Now I'm going to go to the edge of the new fabric, and I'm going to pin it right on the seam, right on that mark I made. And I did the same to the opposite side, pinned it 4 inches in. Now I am just going to, I want some subtle pleating here. So now I'm just going to find the approximate center of this and the approximate center of my gown or my top and get that pinned. And I will just keep doing that. Now I have 2 pins here. Find the center here, approximate center here, pin it. And I'm actually going to slide an old cutting mat underneath so that I can pin this easier. Now I have everything pinned, and I am going to sew it on with a simple straight stitch. I'm using purple thread because I will be dyeing this purple. That's what that's looking like. And I want to add some ribbon ties before I trim this to shape. What I'm using for the ties is a 1/4 inch just white satin ribbon, and I'm cutting 8 pieces at 24 inches long. Now this is the top of my shirt. I am marking with my blue tailor's chalk 1 mark at the very top and 2 inches down from there, and I made 4 marks. And now I just need to do it to the opposite side. Now I'm going to take my ribbons over to my sewing machine along with my top, overlap each mark 1/2 inch with a piece of ribbon, with the ribbon facing inside because they will tie here, and just go over it a couple times with a zigzag stitch. Here's what the ties look like, and we'll be covering those stitch marks, so don't worry about that. Now I threw on a turquoise pair of bloomers so there's a nice contrast so you can see. Now I'm just going to angle this square off and taper it into the top here. I am just going to take those 2 front pieces and just line them up. And now I'm just going to start right here and just cut it at a subtle curve till it blends with the rest of the top here. I think I'm going to do actually a little bit more angling. I will line the two front pieces up just like I did, like this. And I think I want it more of a curved shape coming down this way. Okay, I think that's a much cuter shape. So now I want to make just some rows of little ruffles, and I am going to use, I have this giant linen tablecloth. I believe it's linen. It's slightly a damask pattern. It could be cotton. Sometimes they fool you, but I love how linen drapes. So I am going to make a bunch of ruffles out of this. Now, I'm going to just rip a bunch of strips. I don't know how many I'm going to need. I can always rip more. The edge of this tablecloth, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches over from the edge and cut a snip. Now I made a snip. I'm just going to tear it all the way down. I'm going to keep doing that until I think I have enough. Now I'm going to pull some of these strings off because it gets kind of messy. My duster is going to have raw frayed edges. So some of these long strings, the best way I found is just wrap it around your hand rather than trying to pull long threads. Okay, so the first row of ruffles is going to start at the top, go down the front, around the bottom, back up to the top on this side. Okay, I won't do any pinning, anything like that. I am just going to take the strip of fabric, line it up at the top in the corner here. I'm overlapping it about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and then I'm just, while I'm at my machine, I'm going to make ruffles. I'll pinch pleat it about every 1.5 inches. Maybe I'll overlap it 1/2 inch on itself. So, and keep doing that all the way around. I'm using a straight stitch, and when I get to the end of one, I'll just take another one, overlap it about 1 inch, and just keep on going. So here's what that ruffle looks like. Now I'm going to add another row of ruffles next to it, all the way down around just like we did this one. Now the only difference with this row, do you see how I have the stitching sort of close to the edge here? These, I'm going to do the stitching right down the center. And I am going to put this one about 2 inches, this edge about 2 inches from there. I just want a nice little gap, and I'm just going to pinch pleat it the same way, only stitch down the center until I get all the way around. And I may add 2 more rows. I may only like 2. I'll just have to feel it out. There's what row 2 looks like. Now I want to keep the next ruffles about the same distance apart I have here. So I will probably have to start the next one underneath this arm ruffle. Okay, I have 3 rows, and I think I'm good with that. One more might be just too much. I don't know. Alrighty, so keep in mind, I used a linen tablecloth. You can use a cotton bed sheet that you thrift, or lace, a lace tablecloth, or lace curtains. Now I want to make the rest of the outfit to go with it. It's going to be pretty simple. And I'm going to start with these just simple, basic white capris. I run into similar elastic waist drawstring pants all the time at the thrift store. And I am going to make bloomer shorts, and I'm going to decorate the top a little bit to match, and then we'll get it dyed. First thing I want to do is cut these off so that they become shorts. Now I'm going to that crisscross in the center, in the crotch there, and I'm measuring down 3 inches, a 3-inch inseam. That seems crazy short, right? But I'm going to be adding some lace, and keep in mind, these are oversized and they have a drop crotch. So this will actually be a lot lower on my leg, the bottom of the shorts, than it seems. Once I mark down that 3-inch inseam, I am going to measure up from the bottom and see what this distance is, and it's 17.5 inches. So now I'm just going around both pant legs and making marks at 17.5 inches, and that'll be my cut mark. Now I'm just cutting the legs off around those dashes. Now keep in mind, you make yours whatever length you want. These would be adorable as bloomer length as well. Now here are my shorts, and here is the top. I am going to add 4-inch ruffle of lace at the bottom of the top and at the bottom of each pant leg on the shorts. I have a stack of basically a lot of table runners and large doilies. I like to buy my lace in a lot on eBay. And so I'm just cutting some 4-inch strips. Okay, so now I have a little pile, and I cut each one of those into about a 2-foot strip because I'm going to alternate these lace pieces, and I'm going to sew it along the bottom of the shirt and the bottom of these pant legs the exact same way. I am just going to start on the side, put my needle in, and just do a little pinch pleating. Just overlap maybe like a little, like a 1/4 of an inch. I don't want this super roughly, but I do want it to have some shape and movement. And I am going to use my largest zigzag stitch and then sew all the way around. When I'm done with this piece, I will overlap about 2 inches. I'll get another piece, overlap about 2 inches, and just continue all the way around and do the same thing to the bottom of the shorts. Okay, here's the top. I decided not to pleat the lace on the top. I didn't want a bunch of bulk down there, but I did pleat the ones on the shorts. Now, I could do a whole lot more to these, add more little ruffles or doilies or whatever, but I kind of like it like this, and all together with this duster, I think that's plenty. I am going to do one more thing to the shorts to give it more of a bloomer shape. Okay, I have my shorts inside out, and I have some 1/2-inch elastic, and I am going to sew it along that existing zigzag stitch that I did earlier, and I'm going to start at a side seam on each leg, and I am going to put it in my sewing machine, go forward, back, and then I am going to pull it slightly and sew. Sometimes if I want a big pleat, I will stretch it to full capacity and sew. But I'm just doing it slightly because I don't want these snug on my leg. I just want to give it a cute shape. Okay, I probably could have pulled that a little more snug, given it a little bit more shape, but that's still pretty cute. Now, I am going to take these upstairs and dye them purple. Okay, I'm going to be using Rit Dye-More Royal Purple, and Dye-More is for synthetic fabrics. It has to be dyed on the stove. I have a big pot I filled to about here, and I brought it to almost boiling. Now I'm going to going to put a couple teaspoons of just dish soap in there. And I want my outfit to be sort of a light purple. And I'm assuming this is dark. So I will put a little splash in at a time, stir it, test it with a paper towel until I have the color that I want. Now that I have the color that I think I want, I can put my clothes in. And I got these wet in my sink and wrung them out real good, just so they're damp. And I want to leave them in here for at least half an hour, constantly stirring. Now I'm just going to rinse it in cold water until the water runs clear from my clothes. And I will be putting mine on a drying rack to dry. How fun is this? And it started with just those 3 boring clothes out of my closet. I have a pair of white rain boots I got from Amazon. They are so fun. I'll put the link down in my description for that. I have a hat. I got it from Goodwill, dyed it purple, added a fabric flower. I have a whole tutorial on fabric flowers, how to make them, what you can do with them. I'll put the link down in my description. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot of people don't like wearing sleeveless tops. Either one of these could have been short sleeve or 3/4 length sleeve. So just find a top that has the sleeve length that you like. And to launder this, wash it alone, these 3 pieces together in cold water on a gentle cycle, line dry or tumble dry, whichever you prefer. I'm going to bring it in a little closer so you can see the details, and I thank you so much for watching.